guys, this is Jeannie with the Travel Genie, and I am here today to share my number one tip, my top secret intel on vacation club travel. Specifically, how to make your timeshare not a scam. And I am doing this because I was watching another YouTube video, and the YouTuber was basically discussing why timeshares are not a scam and why you should not try to give away your timeshare to, for example, the timeshare exit team or something. And I felt myself kind of siding with both the YouTuber and with the people that were saying that all timeshares are a scam, because I felt that way too for a long time, to be honest. And I'm going to share today what I discovered that has changed my mind. So I'm just going to get right into it. And the discovery that I made was the Interval International Getaways. So if you know what Interval International is, you may be saying, oh, that's the worst thing, I hate it. Or maybe you have a timeshare that doesn't participate in Interval International, and this may not apply to you, but there may be something similar with your timeshare. So if you have a Hilton property or Disney Vacation Club property or a Bluegrass chain, whatever, vacation club, then you probably are using something else. But if you have a Marriott or you have a Hyatt or a whole bunch of other smaller Welk or bunch of other brands, then you probably do all of your trades through Interval International. So when you buy your timeshare, you may have bought strictly points, and you may say, I don't even want anything to do with Interval International, I'm just using my points to book what I want, and that's fine. Maybe you're finding enough value from that. Or you may be somebody who has a Marriott timeshare and you do points, but you also want to trade, and so you became part of Interval International. So trading for something that's not a Marriott property. Or you may be somebody who owns a timeshare and you don't have anything, you don't have points, you just have this week, and if you ever want to go someplace other than that week, you have to trade through Interval International. So Interval International, for those of you that don't know, is actually owned by Marriott now. They also purchased the Hyatt Vacation Club, and they also purchased the Welk Resorts. So they are just growing and growing, and I think that they do a good job. So back to the secret being the getaways. So when you go to the Interval website and you are saying, okay, I'm going to look for something, the first thing that pops up on their home screen is the search option for the getaways. So I think there's a reason for that, because they are super awesome. And I always ignored it for the longest time. I thought a getaway, I think of that as like 3 days where I'm just jetting off somewhere, and that's not really my life, because I have a family, so I'm not just jetting off someplace. So I really was not interested in it at all. But I became more interested in it in the past few years, and I've learned a lot. The way that I became interested in it was that we were on vacation on spring break at the Sheraton Vistana in Orlando, which is a really cozy, great resort that I like a lot. And a lot of times it's available, it's huge. So we were staying there, and we were in the hot tub talking with some other people, and there was a retired, pretty elderly man, and he was telling us how he had been there for a few weeks, and then he was going to the Marriott Grand Vista and all the other places that he'd been. And I was kind of like, well, do you own like 15 timeshares? Like, why don't you just buy a place here? That's what I'm thinking in my head. Obviously not saying that. But, and then I realized, as I became more savvy with the site, that what he was doing and what most travelers who are constantly going from timeshare to timeshare are doing is using these getaways. So if you have a membership with Interval, so you have one timeshare, you don't need to have 5 or 10, you have one timeshare, and you have a membership with Interval, then you have access to these getaways, and you can purchase as many getaways as you want. So we have used these a ton over the past couple years, and the reason why we can is because we work from home. And my kids they were young enough at the time where they could kind of take off school, or we would, book over the holiday breaks. Their schools do a really good job about giving time off in chunks. So we use these a lot, and that's the key. Get the Interval membership, use the getaways, but you have to be able to use them, right? They're not of any use if you can't use them. So that is my secret. we have gone to Breckenridge at the Marriott Mountainside Lodge. We've gone all over Orlando. We've gone to Marriott Surf Lodge. All of these have been getaways. The other thing that is useful on interval that again I thought was a total scam, like kind of everything else in the timeshare industry, is the unit certificates. And unit certificates they give to you as a free vacation. So right there you're like, okay, I don't want it. There's got to be a catch. But these are just resorts that they can't fill. So and they're usually based on the seasonality. So for example, in the winter, you might find that there's these unit certificates in Williamsburg, Virginia, and the Wisconsin Dells, and places that maybe aren't super desirable. Same thing in the summer, you'll find Arizona and Nevada and Orlando, places that don't have as much demand in the summer months. And these unit certificates, there's no catch. They're week-long vacations, and they just they cost like $200 to $300. So they call them free, but they're really not actually free, but they are cheap. And we've gotten some great resorts there too. So you just have to be you have to have time, right? Because usually most people aren't planning on vacationing for 4 weeks because it's expensive and they can't get off the time, right? But with these unit certificates and the getaway, they at least take care of the expense part of it. And I always thought there was some kind of scam attached to it, but there's really not. So that's what that's my rebuttal to people that say it's a scam. I agree with you, but it hasn't been for me. Also, one other thing that I'll say is that I am partial to the Marriott Vacation Club because we have the points, which is fantastic because I use those points to book from Sunday through Thursday night stays because the nights cost less points. So a resort might be 150 points on a Sunday through Thursday. They're always the same those days, unless it's like New Year's or something. And then on the weekends, we'll use our hotel points or our credit card points that we've transferred to either Bonvoy or our Hyatt point system, whatever. And then we'll use those to book hotel stays rather than using the vacation club points. So it really takes a 1 week vacation and can stretch it out into 2 or 3. So that's really fantastic. And on the flip side, we do have a timeshare that is, a junk timeshare. I don't think people really want to go to it. But the nice thing about it is that the maintenance fees are low. So that vacation, let's say it's like $700 for the maintenance fees. So $700 maintenance fees plus the Interval International fee. I don't know how much that we spend, but maybe with the Platinum membership, it might be like $200 a year or something. So that's $900 per year, and then we could travel unlimited as long as we were paying the $300 a week to the getaways. So again, I don't think that timeshares are for everyone. They do count against you if you're applying, for a mortgage or something or a loan of some sort. That's something that you do disclose. So there's a reason they want to know what you are already on the hook for. And when you have a timeshare, you're on the hook for those maintenance fees and those taxes. So that is something that the timeshare presenter doesn't share with you. But that's something, again, a negative in the timeshares are a scam column. So anyway, I hope that this little secret, which is not so much of a secret to everyone, but it definitely was to me, and I can tell from when we go to different timeshares and how we talk to people, and some people they're shocked. They are like, what? How what can I do? All that they know that they can do is use this week if they're lucky, and there's a good chance they're not using it. So if you're someone who's using your timeshare every year, that's great. But we just know strangers and friends who don't use it. They don't even know they're just like, yeah, I pay this fee because I have to, and one day I'm going to go to Hawaii. But like, they don't know when they're going to go to Hawaii. They don't know how many points they have. So it's like, I don't know, that's frustrating, I'm sure. So I hope that this was valuable to you. If something wasn't clear or you have any comments or questions, please leave them below, and I would love to answer those for you. So thank you so much for watching.